It was 2:41 a.m. when my phone vibrated on the table beside my bed. The vibration was sharp and sudden, cutting through the silence like a blade. I wasn't asleep, I couldn't sleep. The nights had been unbearable since Daniel died. The room was dark except for the faint glow of the streetlight leaking through the curtains. When I glanced at my phone, my stomach dropped. A notification stared back at me, new voice message from Daniel. My hands went cold instantly. Daniel had been dead for 3 days. I had seen his body. I had stood beside his grave. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was an old message that failed to deliver earlier. Maybe someone was messing with me. But when I opened the details, my breath caught in my throat. The timestamp said received just now. My heart began to pound as if it were trying to escape my chest. I sat up slowly, holding the phone like it might explode. I told myself not to play it. I told myself to delete it and forget everything. But curiosity is cruel, and fear is louder when unanswered. I pressed play. At first, there was only static. A low, broken sound, like a radio searching for a signal. Then I heard breathing. Slow, shaky. Familiar. My eyes filled with tears before I even realized it. It was Daniel's voice, but it didn't sound like the Daniel I knew. His voice felt distant, stretched thin, as if it were being dragged through something heavy. "If you're hearing this," he whispered, "then I'm already gone." My throat tightened. I wanted to scream his name, to tell him this wasn't funny, that this wasn't possible. Daniel continued speaking, his words uneven and rushed. He said he was stuck somewhere dark, somewhere cold, a place where time didn't move forward. He said he could hear things walking around him, things that wore silence like skin. As he spoke, the air in my room grew colder. I pulled the blanket tighter around myself, even though fear had locked my muscles in place. Then he said something that made my blood freeze. "You're sitting on your bed," he said softly, "holding your phone. Your light is off. And you're not alone." The voice message cut out abruptly. I stared at the phone, my hands shaking uncontrollably. Every instinct told me to turn around, to check the room, to prove nothing was there. But my body refused to move. The silence felt thick, alive. Then I heard a faint creak behind me, like a footstep on old wood. My breathing became shallow. I remembered Daniel's last words and whispered to myself, "Don't look. Don't look." Suddenly, my phone vibrated again. This time, it wasn't a voice message. It was a text from an unknown number. The message read, "He can see you now." My vision blurred as panic took over. I could smell something strange in the air, damp and metallic, like wet earth mixed with blood. The pressure behind me grew stronger, as if someone was standing inches away from my back, leaning closer with every breath I took. I spun around, screaming, but there was nothing there. No shadow. No figure. Just my empty room. I collapsed onto the bed, gasping for air, tears streaming down my face. I told myself it was grief. Hallucinations. My mind breaking under loss. I stayed awake until morning with all the lights on, afraid to close my eyes even for a second. The next day, I visited Daniel's parents. I didn't want to, but I needed answers. When I told them about the voice message, the color drained from Daniel's mother's face. She hesitated, then handed me his phone. "We found something strange," she said quietly. On the screen was a list of scheduled voice messages, dozens of them, all addressed to me. My hands trembled as I scrolled. The dates, some of them were set for days after his death. I asked her when Daniel recorded them. She looked down, her voice barely audible. The doctors declared him dead at 1:10 a.m. These recordings were made at 1:27. My chest tightened as if something invisible was crushing it from the inside. That night, I didn't go home. I stayed in a motel on the edge of town, telling myself distance would protect me. I locked the door, pushed a chair against it, and sat on the bed with my phone in my hand. At exactly 2:41 a.m., the phone vibrated. The voice message played automatically. Daniel was screaming. Not crying, screaming in pure terror. He begged me to run, to leave wherever I was, to never let it touch me. His screams echoed, layered with other sounds, whispers, footsteps, something breathing far too close to the microphone. Then the sound cut off. I felt hands grab my shoulders. They were ice-cold, strong. Pulling me backward, I screamed, fighting, but the grip tightened. A voice whispered into my ear, not Daniel, slow and calm. You listened too late. The police found the motel room empty the next morning. No broken locks, no signs of struggle. Just a phone on the floor, recording a new voice message. A message addressed to a name that hadn't been there before.